Hey, let's go out for drinks?
Oh, come on, just one more.
Oh my god, this hangover. I promise I will never drink again.
I've spent over 18 years of my life saying and hearing all of that, until I decided to quit alcohol 4 years ago, and that was one of the most impactful decisions of my life. I'm Marcos, and in this episode, we delve into the benefits, the side effects, and some eye-opening scientific research and facts that will help you understand deeper the reason behind the most consumed legal drug in the world and why it's so hard to let go of it. In wine, there is wisdom. In beer, there is freedom. In water, there is bacteria. Statements like that reinforce the conditioning society has strongly imposed to us since 1940 that allowed alcohol advertising to reach a next level, increasing its consumption and proportionally the number of diseases and death from this substance. According to the World Health Organization, alcohol is the cause of over 200 diseases and injury conditions, harming over 400 million people and killing over 3 million around the world every year. If we focus on people aged 20 to 39, this number almost tripled, not counting the negative impact on people around those who drink alcohol. The level of destruction that this legal drug causes to us is massive and far bigger than any other substance, making alcohol the #1 addiction in the world. Note that psychedelics are on the bottom of the list, and they've been heavily criminalized for the past 24 years. The truth behind that I will cover in the next episode. Keep tuned. Do you remember the old story that a glass of red wine every day improves heart function and overall health?
That's BS.
Finally, the World Health Organization published a research in January 2023 that showed that any quantity of alcohol in the body causes more harm than benefits, including 7 different types of cancer. Check the description notes for the full research. Talking about addiction, it doesn't matter the type, it's always a coping mechanism to hide the deep pain that ego decide to protect us by hiding in the depth of the unconscious mind and numbing with addictions to prevent us from feeling the pain over and over again. The bad news is that the only way to process the emotional pains that have been suppressed is by feeling and releasing them. So the need for numbing goes away and we can start feeling again. Addictions numb the negative emotions and at the same time the positive ones too. Then we attach the positive feelings to the addiction and believe that it's impossible to feel pleasure without that substance or a toxic relationship, which is why it's so hard to break addictions. If you need a drink or a substance to enjoy someone or something, you don't really enjoy that person or thing. Keep that in mind. For me, the most effective way to break addictions is by exploring the unconscious mind and understanding the root cause of the pain so healing can happen from inside out. Talking about the benefits of alcohol, I can say the #1 is social acceptance. Unless your culture or religion conditioned you to avoid alcohol at all costs, I'm sure that this substance has played a huge role in your life, even if you chose not to drink, but most likely people around you did. How many times did you drink without checking with yourself if you wanted to drink? Just unconsciously following other people or the conditioning of society that says we should have a glass of wine or beer with a meal, or because you had a stressful day at work and you deserve to relax by having only one drink. By the way, the happy hour was invented to allow people to decompress from the pain of their unfulfilling 9-to-5 jobs. In other words, to numb themselves so they don't realize how miserable their lives are. Well, on the positive side, alcohol reduces inhibition, increases mood, confidence, and creates a sense of euphoria, which you may perceive as superpowers, but at the same time affects cognitive functions and judgment, making people believe they're stronger than anyone else, that they can drive faster, that they should enjoy life without thinking of consequences, and making decisions that make them regret deeply, or even worse, destroying their own lives and other people's too. Basically, alcohol makes the suppressed emotions come to the surface, and they never end up in a good way. As I always say, we react unconsciously to the information stored in our unconscious mind, which I believe is the combination of the conditionings we received from society, the patterns we received from our ancestors, and the negative experiences we had in life. In other words, trauma. So maybe you have ancestors who suffered from alcohol addiction, or you grew up in a drinking culture, or you have found in alcohol a relief from the stress and pain you once felt, or like me, you're a combination of all of them. I started drinking when I was 16. I hated the taste, but the pressure of seeing everyone drinking made me push myself. Then I experienced the confidence boost alcohol gave me to approach girls in the nightclub, a deeper connection with my friends, and the possibility of feeling feelings that sober I could never feel. During university, I drank 7 days per week, and many times I didn't even buy dinner so I could buy vodka instead. Moving from a heavy drinking culture to another didn't help. I started working in a pub and had free alcohol every night. Later on, I started my own business, and once I pushed everyone away from me with the excuse I was building my empire, alcohol became the best friend ever. The stress of work plus a physical pain that no doctor could figure out the root cause of it, combined with poisoning my body frequently with heavy drinking, led me to become suicidal. I will share the whole story in a future episode. Keep tuned. Fortunately, I didn't have the courage to take my life. And after being tired of feeling physical and emotional pain on a daily basis, I went deep into exploring my unconscious mind, identifying all the patterns, conditionings, and traumas that were keeping me stuck in that loop of constantly numbing myself. If you want to understand better my analogy of the pressure cooker and the mind, watch this video here. It will expand your awareness about this topic. So, the more I looked into the suppressed emotions in my mind, the less I needed to find escapes. And the less I intoxicated myself, the more sensitive I became, to the point where I made the conscious decision of quitting alcohol as an act of self-love, and not with the approach of avoiding something I love. This is why many people who go into rehab programs relapse after months or years, because fighting against something that brings us relief and pleasure goes against our nature. And then people start counting the days they've been sober. I don't think this is healthy, because it's a fight that needs to constantly happen to prevent bigger damages. What worked for me is to operate from love and compassion, understanding what my ego needed to surrender so I could heal my patterns, conditionings, and traumas. The more I healed, the more I developed self-love, and with that, the certainty of not damaging myself with substances or people that served as coping mechanisms and escapes. Check my last episode about self-love if you want to learn about the 5 pillars of self-love. I hope my perspective expanded your mind regarding everything I've mentioned before and helped you create a new strategy on how to let go of addictions and everything else that prevents you from becoming the healthiest and happiest version of yourself. Share your perspective and experience in the comments below, and let's keep inspiring each other. I'm forever grateful if you can hit the like button and share with the people that you love most. Much love, and I'll see you next week.